Hey Falcons, this is Mrs. Abdul, and I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to access our databases for your social justice research project. First, you need to get to the website. It is albanyfalconlibrary.weebly.com, and you'll see a tab for databases. The database passwords are fairly straightforward. If you need the database passwords, look in your class's Google Classroom where you'll see the passwords because this is going to be posted on YouTube. I can't share the passwords here. For social justice, the best resources to start with is the generic student resources and context, opposing viewpoints, and there is a specific database called issues in ABC Clio. I'm going to start with the opposing viewpoints database. Once you click on it, my suggestion would be to make sure that you sign in with Google. You'll know because your name appears at the top, you might have to hit an allow button, and then you can start searching. Sometimes it'll produce some issues that might already be there, like lead contaminated water. If this is something that you chose, you can see that there's always an overview, and then you're going to scroll down and see the options of different kinds of resources available. There are viewpoint articles, news articles, reference articles, journals, magazines, statistics that you might want to use. My recommendation is always to start with reference articles and then move to news articles, statistics, and magazines. So if you look at the reference articles, you can click on the number and 5 articles appear. There are a few different things that you can pay attention to when you look at this list. First is how it is sorted. It will always give you the best results first, but you can also choose to do the newest first. This article was actually published in 2022, so this school year. And then there's also the content level. Notice that there are different dots with different colors based on the level. The lower the number of dots, the easier it is to read. The higher the number of dots, the harder it is to read. So, my want to start with this first article called Water Rights from 2018. Gives you some general information about the article, and then you've got your search here, your article here. If this is something that you're interested in using, if you do a little bit of scroll and see that this is something, the suggestion would be to save it to your drive. If you hit this button, it says the documents will appear and there will be a folder created for all of your articles. This is makes it easy to highlight and keep track of your articles. You don't have to lose the articles or try to find them later on. And also, it's easily to be shared with your teacher if needed and make your highlights and notes. The other piece is that when we start doing our works cited and in-text citations, is that the citation will actually appear in the bottom of the article after you saved it to your drive. So super important to save the articles to your drive. You've got a few extra features. If it's easier to read with a bigger font size, you can have the article read to you. And depending on your language, you can have it translated. So that was just one. I can go back to my search results and see more about my topics. So let's say I want to look at these news articles. 526 news articles is quite a bit. So again, I want to make sure that I'm searching maybe by the newest first about my topic. This one was actually published just a week and a half ago. So I can click on this article, do a little bit of scrolling, and notice that sometimes there are these blue words. These are hyperlinks to other articles that you can keep. The other piece to pay attention to is that there are some related subjects. If you want to know more about water as a subject, you can click on it and it will give you other articles about the topic. So, again, anytime you find an article that you want to save, make sure that once you open it up, you hit that save button. I'm going to show you one other database because it looks just a little bit different. It's the ABC Clio database. I type in my username and password. I'm going to go into the issues database because we're dealing with hot button topics and or topics that might have an opposing viewpoint. So I can explore a theme here or I can search the database. So let's stick with the theme of water crisis. And I type in and it gives me 85 search results. Again, I can change different filters. Maybe I want some general resources, I want some documents, and then I also want to search by, I can choose the relevance. So again, here's an article by about the Flint water crisis, and I typed in the term water crisis and it highlights it for me. That's why you're seeing that there. You've got some related articles like the Clean Water Act or environmental justice that you might want to pay attention to. And just like the other databases, the few things that I want to pay attention to first is the save button in order to save it to my Google Drive. It'll give you a notification as soon as that's done. Might take a moment because I'm just starting it here. I'm going to give it another second, and if not, I'm going to close out of it, but it's pretty quick. The other pieces is the citation button again, but if you save it to your data, your Google Drive, it will save the actual citation, which exists at the very bottom here. And then you've also got the option to listen to it or translate it. If you need any help with any of your searching, make sure that you're using some related reference articles that it's giving you inside of the database, and try not to get bogged down in all of the information that's there. Use your search terms about the content level, or the date that something was published. And if you need a little bit more help, stop in and see Mrs. Micah and myself in the library anytime. Good luck, Falcons.